Good Friday morning, Sonor family. This is Jules, and hope you've been having a good week. Hope you got a good weekend ahead of you here. Got a few things to talk about this morning, and the first one's going to be sales. Sales just don't seem to be real good right now. I've got a friend that's got several drum sets for sale, and they've been for sale for a while, and just don't seem to be budging. And I put a three-piece vintage set in silver glitter up for sale. It's basically, I mean, it's almost mint condition, certainly in excellent condition, and I've got it for $2,000 off the map price. And to my surprise, I've had a lot of people comment on how good the price was and that it was a really good deal, but haven't had anybody bite. Now that what I what I was doing was 1995, but shipped anywhere in the country. So you figure 100 $150 for shipping. It really turns into a good deal if you look at it that way. Uh, and I have sold some things along here and there, but things are not like they were several years ago, and I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take for that to snap back. But anyway, we just got to keep hanging in there, and I got more stuff I'm going to put up for sale soon. Had a little glitch with one of the baseball bat throws on a designer, and I'm actually working on an idea to eliminate a lot of the play that's inherent in those things. And I don't even know that it's from wear. It just looks like uh, I don't know if there's a piece that wears out of them and disintegrates or what, but I just don't see how this thing was ever much more solid than it is at this point. Uh, I'm going to do some deep diving on that and come back with more information on that soon. The Sonor 150th anniversary stuff. Um, on my forum, somebody replied recently talking about disappointment turning to anger, and I don't really feel like that's overstated. We're barreling along here almost halfway through the year, and I'm kind of recapping what was said on the forum, and I'm going to post a link to that. I'd really love it if you would go in there and give your 2 cents, whether you agree with anybody else or not, or whatever you have to say is fine as long as it's respectful and related to the topic. But anyway, you just talked about the fact that 100 snare drums sold to affluent buyers, and it looks like affluent buyers don't want 150 shell sets. I'm aware of, I think, two of them selling in the U.S. Other than that, I think the sales are pretty stale on that, which really surprised me. But anyway, I'm just going to throw something out there. I believe that the world economy may be affecting, how they're releasing things. Uh, there may be something to the effect that they got to wait and see what does happen with the, tariffs and all this kind of stuff. On the flip side, they could have done other things. I've hit on this before, but how many of us would have loved to have had even a highly overpriced 150th anniversary T-shirt? I mean, just something as simple as a T-shirt, let alone all the other items they could have done. They could have taken a page out of the Zildjian book on how to do swag for an anniversary. And Zildjian did it to a fault. A lot of people were really critical of the fact that Zildjian had so much swag and so little in the way of product. And in with Sonor so far, uh, running dry in both areas to a degree. You got no swag, and product wise, your average guy, unless he wants to buy a specific shell compressor, and then in my case, I've already got one. So, you know, am I going to buy another one just for the hell of having the 150th or for the sake of showing my support for the company and the anniversary? You know what? There's other things I would like to spend that money on that I feel like should be available. And anyway, so if you would like to comment on that, you can do that here in the comments, or please go join the forum if you haven't already. Take a look around. The forum is under 6 weeks old, I think, maybe 6 or 7 weeks, but it's just getting started good. I wish you would join that. Have a look around. When you see something of interest that you'd like to speak to, go right ahead and do that. Again, gonna maintain respect on there. Uh, but you know what? We don't all have to agree on everything, and I'm up for debating square lugs versus slotted rods again. So, as much of a worn out topic as that was 18 years ago, um, I think there's some new angles on that I may even get going on there. At any rate, some other things going on. Um, well, let's go back to the 150th thing. Um, I think the disappointment with guys like me is in the fact that, we've been waiting for this for so long and there's so much dead air. And, it's not, it's the 150th anniversary of the Sonor company, but it's not like you're throwing a particular guy a birthday party. You know, um, we're the ones getting excited. The corporate on the corporate level, they would like to move product, and I'm sure they're excited too about the fact they're a company. You got company pride for certain. Anybody affiliated with that company has to has to take pride in what the company stands for, where it's come from, and the direction it's still heading, and all that. But that's just as big a deal for us guys that actually spend the money buying this stuff. And just kind of sad to come up empty, you know, well into the what month are we in now? We're in June. Well in, we're not well into June, but we're into June, and and just nothing, nothing. Um, Anyway, Phil Rudd is going to be playing in Auckland, New Zealand on the 26th of July with the Full Metal Orchestra. And on the forum, there's a clip from YouTube that you can find yourself through YouTube, or you can go to the forum if you'd like to contribute there. Um, but anyway, them playing Back in Black. So I don't know what all they're going to be doing on that concert on the 26th. I don't know if it's going to include some AC/DC stuff, or if it's going to be more centric around the AC/DC catalog, or what. But being a long-term Phil Rudd fan, I'm interested to see what happens. And in the clip that I posted on the forum, he actually looks pretty decent. He actually, I know he's had some struggles and issues, but in this particular clip, he actually looked like he was holding his own pretty good. So anyway, Todd Zuckerman, our interview from January was an hour and 42 minutes long. And I'm about to, yeah, try one more time, about to go back and break that up and re-release that in small segments. So we'll have a segment where he talks about why he left Sonor. We'll have a segment that maybe talks a little bit about his time with Pearl or whatever. We'll have a segment discussing why he came back to Sonor, and another one for the more drum specific type stuff for the new rig and that type of thing. Uh, the first segment is going to be sponsored by Atlanta Drum Shop, and I appreciate their generosity with that. And we'll see how that goes. We'll look for other sponsorship going forward, potentially them still, but we'll just see how that shakes out. And I'm looking here at my list here. Um, and in some past videos, I've referred to Sonor's OSM, which is optimum shell measurement. And actually, what I meant was OST, the optimal or optimum shell technology, which includes the optimal shell measurement, which is the undersized shells, also includes the CLTF, the cross laminated tension free shells, and TAR, which is the total acoustic resonance feature of the hardware. So just a clarification and correction on that. And lastly, I don't know if this means anything, but I'm about to show you a couple of pictures. You can draw from it what you like. I actually, in concern for showing something that didn't need to be shown, I started to send Jeff Mulvihill at KHS America. Started sending him an email, make sure this was okay. But I feel like a fly at the carnival with that guy, and I just got where I don't bother him anymore. He calls me when he needs to tell me or ask me something or whatever, and I let it go at that from now on. So anyway, just kind of giving up on trying to maintain much of a relationship there. But anyway, so here's your pictures. Draw your own conclusions. If you've got any guesses about if this means anything or not, reply here in the comments or come to the forum and make a post, find a post, whatever you want to do. Either way, hope to see you on the forum. And if not, I'll see you back here Monday morning. Thank you.